Hello, everybody. All right, I got a big one for us today, and we'll see how long it goes, but they touch on a lot of subjects in this short clip, make a lot of strange claims, and we are going to dissect it. So, without any further pause, let's jump into it.
I guess I don't know if I believe in real ethical obligations then, I guess, or if I could like objectively say like someone ought to have some sort of ethical obligation.
So much.
Okay. So already ethical obligations. He's conflating ethics and obligations. This is common. This is due to Kant. But the thing that ethical action requires a sort of duty. That there is, if you have duty to do something, then it can be ethical. If there's no duty to do something, and it can't be ethical. I'll talk more about this later, but this is a mistake. Continuing.
Much of what we think about the world is based essentially on unprovable intuition.
No, this is a bad epistemology. It's essentially a skeptic epistemology that true knowledge is impossible. Of course, you get this from the cosmic skeptic. He doesn't believe that true knowledge is possible. It's just unprovable intuition. Talk more on this. Let's continue.
Yeah.
The existence of the external world, the existence of other minds.
Unprovable intuition that the world exists, that other minds exist. It's objectively knowable. We'll continue in a sec.
See, we have no reason to say that the laws of physics are not going to stop working in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good reason to believe that. Basically, to believe the opposite is to believe in some sort of mysticism. We'll come back to that.
The sun's not necessarily going to come up tomorrow or whatever, right? Yeah.
I have absolutely no way to justify objectively to somebody who disagrees with me any of this stuff.
Yes, you do. It's called argumentation. It's called trusting your senses. It is called the validity of our senses. And not believing in mystical forces. So let's pause just for a second. So you have no reason to believe that the sun comes up tomorrow. This comes from David Hume, that just because the sun has always come up, doesn't mean that you can prove that it'll come up tomorrow. Well, this is a fundamentally mystical idea. It's that there's something will happen that will change nature in a very strange way that has nothing to do with everything we know about the universe. Like, for instance, if I'm going in the forest and I'm picking blueberries, right? We know what blueberries are. I eat it. Okay, that's good. That's a blueberry. Well, how do I know that 5 minutes later they didn't fundamentally change into, poisonous lead that is masquerading as blueberries now? Well, the guys in this video would claim that there is no way to objectively claim that that they are still going to be blueberries in 5 minutes. My essential belief here is that it is mysticism. You must believe in some sort of mystical property that will come and change the laws of nature, change what is. So yeah, they're claiming that you can't derive an ought from an is, but they're essentially claiming that you can't derive an is from an is. Just because the blueberry is a blueberry doesn't mean that the blueberry is a blueberry. It won't be in 2 seconds or 5 minutes or anything else. Of course, this is the belief that knowledge is not possible, that knowledge is possible, but is given to us from some other realm, some mystical realm, and therefore that's what determines what is true. Objectively, these things are wrong. Let's continue.
But we still believe it, right? I presume you still believe these things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so if you're willing to allow unprovable intuitions in the case of general epistemology,
I'm not willing to allow it. It is impossible. Knowledge is knowable, right? If you believe knowledge is knowable, then it is not based on unproved intuitions. It is based on data. It is based on the fact that our perceptions are valid. Aristotle said this. Aristotle is the man. let's say that the opposite is true. Say that our senses are invalid. Well, what are we doing at all? How do you know that you're even hearing my voice right now? How do I know that I'm even talking? Maybe I am actually water under the icy crust of Europa or something. Like, it doesn't make any sense. A is A. It is what it is. The thing is what it is itself, as Aristotle said. And that is the most true statement there ever was. If you don't agree with that statement, there is no point in even talking or doing anything. Okay, let's go on.
To allow you to say, well, I think it's objectively true that the Earth orbits the sun, even though that's based on unprovable intuition.
First off, it's not based on intuition. It's based on observation. 2, it is not unprovable. It is testable, provable in the sense of documentable. It's not a word. Identifiable, simply. You can identify it, you can document it, you can record it. Of course, calendars are based on this. We take it for granted, perhaps, a calendar, but it's based on the capturing of the course of the stars and the sun and the planets and all these things. And it is objectively knowable that it takes about 365.28, something like that, days, or maybe it's a little bit less. It's an objective fact. They know it. You know it. Let's not pretend that knowledge isn't knowable. If knowledge is knowable, then things are either true or false, because A can't be B or C or D or green or tall. A is A. It's that simple.
Why can't we just do the same thing for ethics in saying that, yeah, we have this unprovable intuition that my well-being is good for me, or like maximization of positive experience is a good thing?
Well, you can, but you'll end up in the same spot that you do if that's your epistemology. If it's just based on unprovable intuition, you will just be spinning your wheels for no reason, and you won't even know that you're spinning your wheels, because how can you prove anything? And there's no point of anything then, right? The ultimate skepticism. Then here it says maybe, he basically gives well-being, that your well-being is the cause of ethics, perhaps. Maximization of positive experience. These are both different ways of saying, like, utilitarian thought, which is wrong as well. It is based on other people. That's a little bit outside the scope of this video. Maybe I shouldn't have selected such a broad and convoluted and messy and unidentified video, but this is what we get in real life, right? We get these ridiculous claims back to back to back, rapid fire shot at us, and it's hard to defend. So I hope that I am illuminating a little bit for you guys. But let's finish, and then I'll talk a little bit more about objective ethics.
And through that unprovable intuition, I see that murder is wrong. And so I'm just going to say that murder is objectively wrong. It's as true to say that murder is wrong as it is to say that the Earth orbits the sun.
I guess I don't.
Okay. Well, he was right about that last part. It is as true to say that murder is objectively wrong as it is the Earth orbits the sun. I would say that both are objectively true. Okay. The Earth orbiting the sun is like I already talked about, you can observe and test, and it will always follow the predictions, right? They're saying, well, just you can't ever know what will be. And like I said, that is the belief in mysticism. That is the belief that something's going to come and fundamentally change the essence of things. There's no reason to believe that. That is not the way the world works. The laws of nature exist because reality exists, and A is A. Now, coming to murder being objectively wrong. Well, this is true. But we can't just start there. We can't just start with, well, what do we like and what do we don't like? We have to talk about what we are, or rather what a person is, what a human is. So a human is an animal, yes, but that's not the differentiating characteristic of humans from other animals. Obviously, there's a lot of animals. So what is it that makes humans essentially human, or specifically or in a special way humans? Some people have defined this as humans are a social animal. That doesn't differentiate us too much. It differentiates us from many things, perhaps such as like insects and stuff, perhaps, but definitely other mammals are social. All the primates are social, rats and mice are social, and so forth. So that's not a good start. We need an irreducible primary here, something that cannot be broken down further to define what a human is. So social animal, not quite. Perhaps a rational animal. Perhaps other animals are rational in the sense that they, they act in their own self-interest. Perhaps they don't have the full conception of rationality of being that others, the other. Let's take mice, for example, that other mice are also acting in their own self-interest, and they don't really have the ability to agree to act together. That's part of rationality as well. I like that humans are the contractual animal. This implies both rationality and communication and agreement, right? To contract in something, we have to both come to terms that we agree are in our self-interest, and then we need to agree to contract, to exchange in this way. So humans are the contractual animal. So what does that mean? If we are the contractual animal, well, in order to have a contract, we have to be able to think and to act. So therefore, we must be able to, we must be free to think and act. Force and violence fundamentally makes it impossible to think. This is evidenced by any dictatorship that exists on Earth. If you go there and you ask the question that is criticizing the dear leader of sorts, you will see everybody instantly withdraw, and they won't even argue against you. They won't even say you're wrong because of these reasons. They'll just say, don't say that. Shut up. That's not right. Stop. Right? So force is anti-mind, and obviously force is anti-action too. Forcing people to not act, but also forcing people to not think is anti-human. So what are humans? The contractual animal. We must be free to think and to act. And then obviously murder violates this fundamental truth about what humans are. So objectively, it is wrong. If you murder somebody, you are saying that people are not free to think and act. Therefore, it's a contradiction, and contradictions cannot exist, right? So it has to be bad. Everything that is good is rational, right? The rational, as Aristotle taught us, the practical is the moral, and the moral is the practical. And I would say both the practical and the moral must be the rational. So this is how we can objectively claim that murder is wrong. It is because it goes against our nature. The same thing with all other unethical behavior, immoral behavior. Stealing is wrong because you are, if I own something and you steal it, you're claiming that what I own is now yours, but that's a contradiction. What I own is mine. Same thing with lying. You are faking reality, essentially. When you say something happened and it didn't happen, you are trying to fake reality and claim that reality was this way that it wasn't. Immoral, objectively immoral, because it is a contradiction. It's really simple, actually. This idea took me a while to come to or understand. And it is the most powerful idea that there ever was. A is A, and the implications of A is A. They are the implications of knowledge, of metaphysics, and of ethics. So I'll expand on this more. I will be repeating myself because there will be a lot of the same mistakes made by famous philosophers and just general people in general, non-philosophers, but that are speaking on philosophy without even consciously knowing it, perhaps. So thanks for listening today. Join me again to see me actually thinking. And if you think I'm thinking poorly, let me know. Have a good one.